Hello, hello, hello. I thought that I would just spend a moment not saying anything much at all after last week's debacle with tech. I'm really hoping that the tech works well today, and I'll wait and see a few of those little eye shapes, which means that people have joined me. It takes a while for them to find me under this Streamyard link rather than in a general Facebook post. So I hope it won't take too long. I know that a few people had indicated that they would be here, so I hope to see them very soon. Okay, well, that's probably enough wittering from me. And now what I'll do is I'll get on and there's my first little eye. So somebody has joined, which means I'm live and can be found. That's always such a relief when that happens. So whoever you are, thank you for joining me because I know that I've been found. So that's brilliant. So welcome to today's lessons from a lurker. And I've got a few exciting things to share with you today, which I'm really seriously quite excited about. If you're here and watching, then say hi. And if you're watching at a later time, #replay, just let me know that you joined. Oh, one's disappeared already. Clearly what I had to say didn't interest them very much. Anyway, oh, good morning, Carrie. Thank you for joining me from, I hope, sunny Minnesota. Not sure. We've actually got sunshine here after a whole weekend of miserable weather and rain. We finally got sunshine here. Anyway, what am I excited about today? Well, something was just brought to my attention that I had no idea about at all. And somebody shared the top 20 introvert podcasts that we should be listening to. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if I appear on the list. And indeed, I am here as a Facebook user. I wonder who I am here is. Just tell me who you are name-wise, and then I can speak to you personally rather than just saying Facebook user. The Flourishing Introvert Talks is number 10 on the top 20 introvert podcasts, which I think is pretty good. Bearing in mind we've only been going just over a year, and bearing in mind it's not aimed at business owners, it's aimed at introverts, and a lot of the others are for introverted entrepreneurs, then I think, oh, thank you, Carrie. I think that's pretty good. Of course, what that's done is it's left me curious about what would it take for me to move up from number 10 further up the list, further up the rankings. I have no idea. So I might do a little bit of exploration about that. But actually, I'm really chuffed with being in the top 20 and at number 10 in the top 20 of introvert podcasts. So that's my first little bit of news. The second is also, oh, hello. Yes, it's Jenny. Thank you for joining me, Jenny. The second bit of news, actually, I was very moved by, and again, it's related to my podcast. And it was a message that came through from the editor of my podcast, who, when working on the episode that's going to be released this week, said, I'm slightly heartbroken by listening to the story that you shared in your podcast. And that means so much to me for a couple of reasons. One is that, as you can imagine, podcast editors listen to so many podcasts. So the fact that my particular episode had the ability to move her, I thought was actually really quite touching. And the second is, clearly I'm getting good morning, Carol, from the US too. And I'm trying to remember where you are, Carol, can't quite remember, but you're welcome to join us. Glad to have you here. But the second is, clearly I'm getting a little bit better at storytelling. If I'm able to move my podcast editor and leave her slightly brokenhearted listening to my episode, then I'm getting better at storytelling. And it's something that I'm working hard at because I know that storytelling is such an important aspect in order to keep people engaged. And maybe when I get better at storytelling, that might be one of the things that moves me up that list. Who knows? Who knows? We can only hope. So they're the first couple of bits of news I have about my podcast. The second thing I wanted to talk about was where I've been lurking or not lurking this week. And oh, yes, that's right, Delray Beach, Florida. Oh, every time I hear that, Carol, it just brings these amazing images to my mind. So I hope my imagination lives up to your reality, because it would be amazing if it did. So I have been, and the podcast episode that's being released Thursday is talking about a couple of podcasts where I've been a guest. But I'm also a guest again later this afternoon. So I'm a guest on a podcast which is about igniting your genius. And I'm really looking forward to being part of that one. And I find that I'm getting more and more invites to be on podcasts, but I'm not, I think, making the most of them. So my question is, am I lurking a bit, even though I'm being a guest in my podcast? Should I make my calls to action clearer in terms of letting people know how they can find me? I mean, the host always asks me, if people want to follow you, where can they find your work? But maybe I'm not making that sound compelling enough for people to then bother to follow me. So I know Carol in particular is doing some really great work around podcasting and around video, kind of videoing as well. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that, Carol, especially as I've been a guest with you. It'd be really interesting to know your thoughts on that. So there are places, even though I'm not officially lurking, I wonder if I am still being a bit lurkerish, if I'm still, I don't know, maybe playing small. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm not lurking. Maybe I'm just playing small when I am out there in the world. Something for me to explore. I'm deliberately taking it a little bit easy this week and next week, I've got a slightly quieter week. And in fact, I've got the afternoon off tomorrow afternoon, and I'm taking my favourite niece to a spa afternoon. And I'm so looking forward to that. And I think the weather's going to be kind for us. So that'll be glorious too. Because I realised that, up until this month, especially on the back of the last 18 months, I'd got kind of pretty overwhelmed and was occasionally experiencing that introvert hangover. I hadn't got as far as burnout. As you know, I'm committed not to get as far as introvert burnout. But I think I had certainly got as far as the introvert hangover. So for me, the spa break, the spa afternoon is a great way just to top my batteries up. They're still relatively high after my detox week that I did, my detox break. But I can always kind of keep going a little bit more. And then the third thing, and this is where I'm asking for your help specifically. I was on a webinar this morning where we were looking at my business plan and strategy, and I'm wanting to clarify my brand. And I know I've asked you similar things before and you've been really kind, but I'm going to ask again. And I know Carrie's already responded saying, let me think about that. I want to think about this properly. But I've been asked to find out the 3 words that people would use to describe me, because this is about clarifying my brand. I know how I want to be seen. What I need to check is, am I being perceived, and are people experiencing me the way that I want to be perceived and experienced? So for those watching live, and there's no pressure for you to do it right now, that would just be weird, but I would love to hear from you in terms of what 3 words come to mind when you think of me and my work. And if, for those of you who are going to be watching on replay, #replay, what 3 words, and no, it's not the destination finder, what 3 words, but what 3 words would you, or come to mind when you think about me and my work? Now, do I know what my human design type is? That's a great question, Carrie. And yes, I do, but I don't know what it means. I've not had it debriefed. So yes, I do. And I'm just wondering whether I now just do something a bit naughty, which is to have a quick look right now, because then I could tell you, couldn't I? Because I have saved it. No, didn't want to do it there. I wanted to do it in here. That's it. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. Thank you. Here we go. And I'm a generator. Single definition, whatever that means. Inner authority is emotional solar plexus. Strategy to respond, not self-theme frustration. So yes, manifestor generator. No, it says generator. So I'm assuming that I did do it more than once. So I'm just wondering, okay. So type time bender, manifesting generator, inner authority, creative, solar plexus, single, strategy, respond, themes, satisfaction, frustration, anger. So if any of that makes any sense, Carrie, then I'd love it. Maybe I need to book some time with you to help me make sense of it, because I'm fascinated by it, but I'm not skilled or qualified in it. So I have no idea what it means. So yeah, please let me know, Carrie, if any of that makes sense to you and if I can book some time with you to help me understand it, because as you know, me and my curiosity and always wanting to raise my self-awareness, I am so keen to find out more and more and more about myself. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for responding and asking those questions, Carrie. That's really helpful. And I'd love to hear what 3 words come to mind for other people. So that's all from me today. It's been about my 15 minutes. Let me just see what Carol has put here. That's really useful, Carol. So I can certainly help you, and I'm more than happy to take that survey as well to help you understand that too, because of course I don't know where people have come from. I don't know where people found me from. So it could be that it's from your show and I'm just not aware of it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'm fully intending to be here next week. So next week at 1 o'clock British summer time. Summer being slightly in debate here in terms of yesterday. I put my little short boots and socks on because it felt that far away from summer. But today we've got a bit of summer back again. So let's hope we're still British summertime in its widest sense this time next week. Have a good week all, and happy showing up as opposed to lurking. Take care now.